his way back towards us. You can see him on the water making his way towards Logan Smith, who will be swimming the third leg for Emory Henry. Teammates swimming strokes hollering going out, and into the water is our third swimmer for the Wasps. That is Logan Smith. Logan is one of our faster swimmers here, going down quickly to the other end of the pool, and there is going to be the touch right around the 125 mark. Making his way back for the anchor leg, which is going to be swam by Ryan Spangler. Spangler anxiously waiting. There's the touch, and he is off and running. Spangler is into the pool and making his way down the lane for the final leg of the 200-meter medley relay. At the other end, he's got the touch and the turn, making his way back for this final leg of the 200-meter medley relay. Halfway down, seems to be cruising in and getting ready to touch the wall, and moments away, and the touch point is done at 208.89 for the Wasps.
Oh, excuse me, and a great performance out of the Wasps there. They swam their race. They didn't try to do too much. They just did what they needed to do, and obviously they got the win. They got the win before they were in the pool on that event, but I think it was a great performance.
And, of course, these swimmers are going to be doing other events right now, so when they're not racing someone, they're still trying to put up a really good time, but they're also still trying to understand that they don't have to use all of their energy to get to that point. So, I think that we have to understand that that's just trying to get comfort in the pool, kind of probably getting a little bit loose and warmed up. And I think that, right now you're happy with what you've done there, and, we're getting ready for other events. And so we got some longer events coming up. Some of these guys will be swimming in some of these longer events. So really they know it's going to be a long day. And when you're not racing somebody, when those points are guaranteed, you take the easy swim a little bit.
You definitely do. And, you just continue to work and do everything you can and swim your race, and look forward to your next match, I guess, or next event, rather.
So we got some long events coming up here next, Ty. The 800-meter freestyle for the women is going to be our next event. It's going to feature an Emory Henry swimmer and a Ferrum swimmer. It's going to be Kinsey Welch and Liza Montgomery. And so it's going to be one Emory Henry swimmer, one Ferrum. In lane number 4 is going to be Kinsey Welch, and lane number 5 is going to be Liza Montgomery. So we are ready here for the start. And we are off, and the two competition swimmers of Kinsey Welch and Liza Montgomery are into the pool. As you can see, they're about halfway, 3/4 of the way down the pool. And on the turn, it's going to be Emory Henry with about a length lead. So Welch is off to a strong start with the turn. Making her way back to the other end. This is, again, one of those longer races, really more about pacing than it is coming out like lightning. So really just trying to find that comfortable speed where you can maintain and get the maximum out of your time.
Definitely. Kinsey Welch came out. She looks so comfortable in the pool on this type of distance. She's leading, but it doesn't look like she's giving that maximal effort where she's going to blow out everything before the end of this race.
Yeah, this is really the marathon race of the meet, where you're really just trying to find whatever your comfort level is and just really kind of settle into the pain a little bit to a certain degree of just saying, this is what my body needs to go to be able to go all the different lengths that we have to travel during this competition, and really just trying to maintain something to where you don't come out to a big giant lead and then let your opponent catch up to you. So sometimes, although right now it's almost a half of a pool length lead for the Emory Henry Wasps, sometimes it's more about what we'll see in the next 45 seconds to a minute and a half, where has the swimmer come out too fast, or have they found that pace where they're going to continue to grow their lead. It's really about just finding that speed that's maintainable. So right now, Emory Henry looking very solid as we make the touch on the other end. Emory Henry still going out to a big lead, coming up at about a minute 42 in this swim. It is about a half of a pool length lead swim. Coach Skinner watching as his swimmer continues to look very strong in this swim.
Yeah, definitely. This is one of those swimming events where it's you're before you even jump in the pool, it's going to hurt, but you gotta just kind of accept that and decide what type of pain are you ready for in this one.
I'm not ready for any pain, Ty. I'm not ready for any pain. I actually, we cover lots of sports here at Emory Henry, 26 different sports options. And I think swimming to me is one of those ones that I think people underrate quite a bit. Until you get in that pool, try to swim 800 meters right now. I'd be standing in the shallow end right now, gassed, and I would be stepping out of the pool at this point. But really just unbelievable shape that we find our swimmers in. Kudos to Coach Skinner, his staff, and, of course, the strength and conditioning staff that works so much with these student-athletes, and also, of course, the student-athletes who put in so much time to really dedicate to their craft.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you walk through the King Center morning, noon, and night, and you hear some splashing going on in here because these swimmers are always in the pool putting in work, trying to better themselves. So it's a great testament to the coaching staff and everyone, and including the swimmers. And I think it's, as seen today, things are paying off. The hard work is.
It's about a 25-meter lead right now for Emory and Henry. As you can see, Welch is making her way back down to the starting blocks where she'll be making the turn once again. Lots of turns. I mean, luckily you have those teammates down there to keep laps for you because it can be really dizzying, I know, when you're just swimming back and forth so many different times, working on your technique, making sure you're maximizing that breathing. Emory and Henry, 25-meter lead right now, looking really strong for Kinsey Welsh, representing Emory and Henry. Liza Montgomery is the swimmer for Ferrum. This is a finish of the sixth trip down the pool for Kinsey Welch. Still looking very, very strong. Still growing that lead right now. So, we were talking earlier about really making sure that you are maintaining a speed that can really help you continue to hold your lead or grow your lead. And she is doing exactly that. Kinsey Welch, an experienced swimmer, really showing strong form here early in the season.
Yeah, I mean, she set the pace coming right out of the block and was able to get enough of a lead where she can sit very comfortably. And when you get to that type of lead, you can start to push the pace, I guess, and start to try to gain even more on your opponents because, even though the Liza Montgomery's in second, she's still pushing. She's not given up yet. So you can't ever underestimate your opponents in a sport like this.
Emory and Henry still holding that big lead. Teammates cheering each other on, trying to make sure that they know what lap they're on, trying to give them a little bit of motivation, telling them to keep going. Kinsey Welsh has really looked really strong. Of course, that pace is going to drop off just slightly. It's hard to really keep it even. But just visually watching her, still looking very strong. But, of course, it continues to get really, really painful as you kind of get closer to the finish of this race.
Yeah, I am definitely happy that we're on the table and not in the water, Brent.
You see the Emory and Henry coaching staff cheering on their swimmers. You might be seeing on your screen that we have another swimmer in lane number 2. That's one of our male swimmers. But in this competition, it is the Ferrum women and the Emory and Henry women that are competing. Kinsey Welch for Emory and Henry, Liza Montgomery for Ferrum. And we are getting to seeing that lead almost grow. Actually, Kinsey Welch is almost going to catch up to Montgomery here. Probably the next lap or two. It's going to be close. She has got about a 75-meter lead right now in this 800-meter freestyle competition. This is always one of those longer races that I just can never believe how strong and how deep they have to dig to make this happen. But Kinsey Welsh, impressive swim here early in the season.
Definitely, and I think that the main way that you can do something like this and go to that pain threshold is just putting in the hours and putting in the laps. Our girls and men, our men and women's teams, they put in so much time. So, if you can make practice harder than the meet, then I think you'll be all right.
Kinsey Welsh completing lap number 20 right there. 20 lengths is what she's doing. Heading down towards the 21 sign being held by Kat Swigert, her teammate. I always wonder, too, I mean, you hear your teammates telling you, go, 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 and really screaming for you to keep pushing. I think I'm kind of at this point, if I was swimming, I'd sort of be like, this is what I got right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, your teammates are cheering and saying, come on, let's go, swim faster, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so obvious. You want to look at them and go, oh, swim fast. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. I thought I was, I thought we were going at a leisurely pace. Yeah. But it's just, I think that you're feeding off that energy. It doesn't really matter what they're saying. You probably can't hear what they're even saying, but giving that energy and giving that to your teammates can really help.
And actually, we have just reached the point where Kinsey Welsh has actually passed Liza Montgomery of Ferrum. Kinsey Welsh is one of the stronger swimmers in the ODAC for us. Great young talent, and is really swimming really strong for us today. Still looking very good right now. As you watch her right now, just almost seems like she's found a second gear. Seems like they're right in the middle. She cruised a little bit, and as she knows she's getting closer and closer to the end of this race, she sort of just kind of kicks it back in and says, I've got some energy left. This is what I'm going to push with. So it's an impressive swim for her, and you can see the coaching staff still pushing, telling her to go strong, and Kinsey Welsh is seeming to deliver on that. I feel like in the last couple of laps, she seems to have found another gear, so that cheering on that we were talking about shows you we may not know a whole lot because it may actually be able to motivate them, and it does. I mean, that's something that, not having the crowd here, the crowd does make a difference. And so the teammates are having to really fill in that space. And I'll tell you what, as we try to lean towards each other every now and then to make sure that we hear each other, it's still pretty loud here inside the Emory-Henry Aquatic Center as Kinsey Welsh comes down to the end and touches for one more time, heading back down as she continues to lead here in the 800-meter freestyle. We're crossing about the 9:43 mark right now for Kinsey Welch as she makes her way back down the pool, about to complete her 29th length of the pool at this point. I should have probably have done the math beforehand to know how many laps we have to go. I'm not going to not be truthful to our audience. I've seen a lot of swim meets. I'm still learning quite a bit about the sport, but we wanted to kind of have someone here to be able to give you a little bit of commentary of what's going on. So we'll be flashing back and forth and having moments where we're able to kind of describe the action. But we're also going to let you take in the sights and sounds a little bit as well here in the Emory-Henry Aquatic Center. This is the bell lap for Kinsey Welsh as she touches and makes her way down. 2 more lengths of the pool to go. So she will be cruising to victory here in the women's 800-meter freestyle.
Yeah, just a dominant performance out of Kinsey. That she got that lead early, and she never let up, and she just continued to build that lead into a sizable lead to where she's going to be done, and the other Ferrum swimmer's going to have a couple more lengths of the pool. So what a great performance out of Kinsey Welsh.
And Kinsey Welsh coming to the wall for the touch at 11 minutes, 2 seconds, .53 for the first place finish for Emory and Henry. Lots of big, deep breaths there. I can only imagine how exhausting that is, but she looks way better than I would be. But really just, early in the season, you do all these reps in practice. Coach Skinner has a very thorough training plan. But Kinsey Welsh, it's just delivering it in competition. And so a good start to the season for her in this event.
Definitely. I mean, you can perform great in practice and you can do everything you can, but until the lights come on and the stars come out, you don't know what you got. But so great performance out of Kinsey Welsh to really make that happen and give us a great performance to start the season. And the Ferrum swimmer, Liza Montgomery, is coming to the wall to touch. And there's the final of the race with a time of 12 minutes, 8 seconds, and 75 hundredths of a second, I guess.
Yeah, not a math major, buddy. Not a math major.
Definitely not.
And we'll try to keep getting those times to you. Sometimes, we got a lot of buttons we're pushing here. This enhanced streaming has been very exciting for us, and we're going to be giving you some new graphics coming up, especially as we get ready for some of these later events. And we're going to be having our next event come up is actually going to be I should have mentioned Braxton Justice, the other swimmer in the pool. He actually did his event too. Sometimes these things don't get passed down to us, so I wasn't 100% sure what was going on there, but Braxton Justice also swam that event for the Wasp and finished in a time of 11 minutes and 20 seconds. So we are going on to our next event, which is going to be the women's 200-meter freestyle, and Leah Davis is actually going to be the first swimmer up for Emory and Henry College. She'll be swimming in lane number 2. In lane number 3 is going to be Caroline Solwetcher. And swimming in lane number 4 for Emory and Henry is going to be Kate Prager. She is going to be swimming in lane number 4 for the Wasps. Also swimming for Emory and Henry in lane number 5 is going to be Emmy Humans. So the freshmen will be swimming in lane number 5, so we will have 3 different Emory and Henry swimmers in this 200-meter freestyle event. And the start, and we are off. So we have 3 of the 4 lanes being made up of Emory and Henry swimmers, and we have a lead right now by Leah Davis in lane number 2.
Yeah, and you wonder if this a swim like this is bragging rights when you're competing against your teammates.
Oh, I'm sure it's bragging rights right now. And so everyone, of course, coach is wanting them just to try to get their best swims in right now. But, I think they also are really good at pushing each other as well. So Leah Davis in lane number 2 has got the early lead for Emory and Henry. Right now in second place is going to be Kate Prager in lane number 4. So that first touch is around 31 seconds for our leader, Leah Davis, as she makes her way down to the other end of the pool. She flips back and starts to make her way back home. Looking very strong here in the 200-meter freestyle for the women. Leah Davis with a pretty healthy lead right now. In second place is going to be Kate Prager. Third place is going to be Emmy Humans. And in fourth place is going to be the Ferrum swimmer, Caroline Solwetcher.
And a great performance so far by all 3 of these Emory and Henry swimmers, just really getting after it and giving a great performance.
Leah Davis making her way back towards the starting block.
And Leah Davis touching and heading back. She's just dominating this race and keeping a pace that I don't know how. I don't know how she can keep a pace like that and stay so consistent.
Yeah. So we're always in the honesty and disclosure part. The meet manager handed us a wrong sheet, so we're going to have to make sure that we have all the right names. So bear with me for a second as I try to get all of the different names. So right now, trying to figure a few things out, but still, we'll try to keep you up on what's going on in the action right now. So, yeah, actually, they moved some lanes there. So the way that actually finished out, Emmy Humans actually finished in second place, in first place, excuse me. And second place is going to be lane number 4, which is Leah Davis. And in third place is going to be third place is going to be Kate Prager of Emory and Henry. And Caroline Solwetcher is going to finish in fourth place. So apologize. Sometimes things change, and the coaching staff has to make some adjustments. And to be honest with you, this is really one of the first swimming meets that we've ever broadcasted. So I think it's one of those situations where they just kind of forgot to pass along the information to us. But we're getting the correct information. Apologize to everyone as we try to figure some of these things out. But,
yeah, this has been a growing process, starting these streams for everybody. So we appreciate you staying patient with us. But it's just such a great opportunity that we were able to get this streaming going, I think, for Emory and Henry, and to just really take our stream. Obviously, we've had streams in the past, but I think that we're really taking it to the next level.
Well, I know the next one because these two gentlemen I just got to know in the last few weeks. I'm through just some of their college activities, and so it's going to be two Emory and Henry swimmers. It's going to be Logan Smith and Ryan Spangler. They're going to be swimming the 200-meter freestyle. With Logan Smith is going to be in lane number 3. So in lane number 4 is going to be Ryan Spangler. So they are going to be doing the 200 here, and they are off and into the pool. Two good friends, friendly competition as they get underway. So they are off and on their way back. One length of the pool down. Really tight race right now. Really actually hard to call from this angle. They'll be passing by us here in just a moment, and we'll have a little bit of a better idea of who is leading this race. And it looks like it's going to be actually Spangler with just a little bit of a lead, but really almost a identical flip and turn. So that is almost too close to call, 31-48, 31-24. So technically Spangler with a very, very micro lead right now. Good race right now between two good friends for Emory and Henry College as they are the only two swimmers in this race. Logan Smith, Ryan Spangler. Now that we have the right names, we might be able to do some good things here, Ty.
Yeah, we'll definitely be able to at least tell you. Although, even though we have the names, I couldn't tell you who's winning right now.
Yeah, it's hard. It's still a little bit of a lead right now by Logan Smith, who actually just kind of pushed ahead there just a slight bit. He makes the turn. Spangler is about a half a body length behind right now, as Logan Smith has a slight lead right now here in this 200-meter freestyle.
Yeah, and that last turn, Brent, it seemed like the transition is what really gave him that lead. You know, they were going in neck and neck, but his turn was just so fast, and he was able to get out to a little bit of a lead there.
Logan Smith kind of extending that lead now, almost probably 3/4 to a full body length in lead, as you can see on your screen right now. Thanks to Peyton Brooks, who's running our roaming camera right now, walking the sidelines as we continue to have the 200-meter freestyle right now, as Logan Smith continues to lead Ryan Spangler, his teammate. We are in event number 6. This is the men's 200-meter freestyle. Two Emory and Henry swimmers in the pool right now. Logan Smith continuing to lead this race, has probably extended it to about a full body length or maybe even a little bit more. Still looking very strong. I heard a lot of good things about his swims coming into today's meet. Some strong swims this week. Some really fast times is what he was telling me, and he touches the block in 2 minutes, 15 seconds to take the lead. Ryan Spangler finishes second with 2:19.49. Two really good swims right there, but a good second half of that race as the two friends congratulate each other on a good swim there. So two good swims there for Emory and Henry College in the 200-meter freestyle.
Yeah, and Logan Smith being a couple years older than Ryan Spangler, him the 21 and the 19. He's the seasoned vet, and I'm sure he's going to hold that over Ryan in the upcoming week. Coming up next in this meet of Emory and Henry versus Ferrum, we have the women's 50-meter freestyle. In the first lane, we have Alina Baltons for Ferrum. In lane 2, Kinsey Welsh for Emory and Henry. Kate Schoaf for Ferrum in lane 3. Leo Mumpower in lane 4 for Emory and Henry. And Cameron Burke in lane 5 for Ferrum.
So this is going to be another quick race right here. This one's going to go by very, very quickly. This will be a very fast swim. You'll look around, somewhere around the 31 time is probably what's going to be a winning time. Somewhere maybe around 32. They are on the block right now, and we are ready to start the 50-meter freestyle. And we are off. Quick race as we expect right now. And it looks like leading right now is going to be a tight race between lanes 2, 3, and 4. That's Welch, Schoaf, and Mumpower. They make the turn, and on the way home, this is one of those quick races. And looking like right now that it is going to be a tight one in lanes number 3 and 4 between Schoaf and Mumpower. And it's going to be a touch in lane 3 is going to be the winner, Schoaf, with a time of 31:45. Finishing second is going to be the Emory and Henry swimmer, Kinsey Welsh, with a time of 31:75. Finishing third is going to be in lane 1, Alina Boltons. Fourth place is going to go to Boltons, and in the fifth place is going to be 44:62 with Cameron Burke.
And wow, Brent, even though we don't have any fans, this place got rocking during that 50-meter freestyle. You know, it's such a quick race that it can get super exciting, and it was such a close race as well.
Yeah, it's one of the most exciting races that you have because there's just no time to blink. You know, I'm actually over here. Ty and I are multitasking. He's going to be punching up some graphics throughout the races. I'm going to be punching up different camera angles, and it feels like by the time I look down to see what the next camera angle I want to take, we're almost done with the race. So again, learning process for us here with these streams, but hopefully you're enjoying the different looks that we have. We have 4 different cameras that we can go to at any given time. So, you know, right now, for example, we can kind of give you sort of this wide shot. We can go back and take you to our scoreboard so you can see the times where all the swimmers finished in each one of the races. And we also have camera that floats around and one that is behind lanes 3 and 4. So, you know, right now we'll jump up here to the starting line where we will give you some information about the next race, the 50-meter freestyle for Emory and Henry. It's going to be Neil Fredrickson for Emory and Henry in lane 2. In lane 3, it's going to be Dominic Philpott of Ferrum. And in lane number 4 is going to be Braxton Justice of Emory and Henry College. So we're about ready to get the event started. We are taking our marks, and we are off. Quick swim here again. It's going to be a tight race, it looks like, between Justice and the Ferrum swimmer, Dominic Philpott. They make the turn, and we are on our way back in. And we are head-to-head. It looks like it might be a slight lead for Braxton Justice with Philpott just slightly behind him. We come to the wall and the touch, and it is going to be Braxton Justice taking the victory for Emory and Henry with a time of 27.16. In second place, Philpott with a time of 28.02. And in third for Emory and Henry, Neil Fredrickson comes in with a time of 32.62.
What a race.
I'm exhausted.
And we're not even swimming.
I'm just pushing buttons, and I'm exhausted over here. But that was a really great race. It looks like Justice really stayed really calm there. Philpott was right on his hip really the entire time. Braxton, just with that experience that you find in a junior, just really kind of kept his cool. And, knowing Braxton as I do, just never really gets nervous under the pressure and really just continued to hold that lead and really held that length of just about, 3 feet for most of the entire race and just stayed there the entire time.
Yeah, the consistency is shown definitely as you age and you mature as an athlete, and that was definitely shown with his pace. Philpott was starting to gain a little bit, but he was able to just stay consistent and get the win.
So we are actually going to be at a part where I believe they take a short break after the 50 is what I believe I heard they were going to do. So we're going to have a little bit of a chance to pause for just a moment. So we'll be back with you in just a minute.
So, Brent, what do you think about the first half of our meet today?
Well, I really think that we're missing the crowd right now, but I think that we're seeing some strong swims from Emory and Henry early on, and maybe you can explain why you're making me look like this.
Definitely. And as you guys can see, that we are obviously not, this isn't the real Brent, but we want to talk to...
Yeah, what we're doing right now is the Old Dominion Athletic Conference has got a situation right now where they're having a little bit of limitations in fans, of course, and having no fans for the indoor sports. So, Ty, tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so the Old Dominion Athletic Conference recently announced that there will be no fan attendance for all indoor sports across the conference. In response to this in-person limitations, Emory and Henry College Athletics is launching a fan cutout campaign that will allow the fans the ability to continue to support the Wasps without physically being there. The cutouts pricing is $1 for $50 and $45 for each additional cutout. All the proceeds will go directly to the IHA Fund and will benefit all Emory and Henry student athletes. Visit GoWasp.com for more information on how to make a payment and upload your image. The deadline for ordering is Monday, January 25th. As you can see, you can have a great cutout like Brent here, where you can be a part of all of our indoor athletic events and be in the stands.
Yeah, we won't have them here in the aquatic center because we're a little bit worried about moisture and the chance of them getting damaged, because we're trying to use them for all of our different sports. But this is going to be something you'll be able to see at a lot of our other events. So I just wanted to mention those to you. So we're going to get back to swimming here as we are coming out of our break, and we're getting ready for our next event. We take our marks, and we are off now. This event is going to be the 200-meter IM. Swimming in this race is going to be Paige Woodworth, Hunter Sharp, and Kat Swigert. Woodworth and Swigert are the Emory and Henry swimmers. Paige Woodworth is going to be in lane number 2. And it's going to be Hunter Tharp in lane number 3. Kat Swigert is going to be in lane number 4. So Paige Woodward in lane number 2 is in a really tight battle right now with Hunter Tharp in lane number 3. We are in the backstroke here. Really, really tight race. Really almost impossible to tell from our angle right now who is leading who at this point. Really actually dead heat at this point. It looks like Mumpower might have touched just slightly ahead there in lane number 4. Actually, that's Kat Swigert in lane number 4. So it is actually Swigert and Hunter Tharp that are chasing each other. Swigert with a little bit of a lead right now. Mumpower is also the other swimmer for Emory and Henry. Catching up to it, a little bit hectic at times. But it is Kat Swigert that's leading for the Wasps right now as we are in our third stroke here of the medley relay here. In the individual medley. 200 meters is the length of this race. Swigert getting ready to touch on the other end. And she'll be finishing her final stroke here, which will be the freestyle. Good length that she has grown right now over Hunter Tharp.
It looks like she's lost her swim cap. She's swimming so fast.
That will happen. That can happen. She makes the turn, and she's on her way back right now. 2:31 is the time right now. She is making her way back to the finish line here with a nice size lead over Hunter Tharp of Ferrum. Paige Woodworth is in third place right now. Coming to the final touch point, and Swigert makes the touch. 2:47.15 is the time. Hunter Tharp of Ferrum will be touching in here in just a second. She makes the touch on the wall. 2:55.70, and it'll be Leah Mumpower coming in, Paige Woodworth coming in here in the third spot as she touches the wall at 3 minutes, 5 seconds, .87. So Kat Swigert picks up the victory for Emory and Henry College. Second place to Hunter Tharp, and Paige Woodworth finishes third for Emory and Henry.
And a great performance out of Kat there to come out of the blocks hot and continue to keep her lead. And it's when you do a medley like that, Brent, it's so impressive because you have to be so good at so many different type of swimming events. You can't specialize in something like, a freestyle or a butterfly or a breaststroke. You have to be able to do them all. So they're kind of the Swiss Army knife of the swim team.
Well, we're going to move on to our next race. It is going to be the men's version of that same race that we just watched. So it'll be the medley, all the different swims. In lane number 3 is going to be Dominic Philpott for Ferrum. And in lane number 4 for Emory and Henry College is going to be Blake Medeiros. So he will be swimming. The junior out of Ackworth, Georgia, will be swimming this race for Emory and Henry College. And both of the men step up to the blocks. We are moments away from the start. They are taking their marks. And they are off into the swim for Emory and Henry College. It's Blake Medeiros. For Ferrum, it's going to be Dominic Philpott.
And right off the blocks, Brent, it looked like Dominic Philpott jumped half of the pool on his dive, so that was a great way to start that lead, but it looks like Blake Medeiros is not going down without a fight, and looks like he might have actually taken the lead here.
Yeah, Blake Medeiros has a slight lead here as we make our way back down towards the other end of the pool. Looks to be about a 2-foot lead or so as he makes the touch in 34.09, makes his way back down the pool, underwater still right now as he starts the backstroke, and Medeiros has gotten a little bit of a longer lead right now. It's almost 3/4 of a body length as he makes his way down to the pool. He will be heading for home here in a moment. Makes the touch, makes the flip, and back down the other way go. Comes out of the water, still in the backstroke. One of his stronger strokes right now, it looks like, as he continues to grow that lead. But you always have to watch. You know what's lurking. The freestyle, the regular stroke that we all know and love so well is one of those ones where a lot of people can put up some really fast times. Medeiros touches the wall, makes the flip, going into his next swim, and he is up and out. That rhythmic breathing that you see from the breaststroke. He's making his way right now. A really good swim right now. And it actually, to be honest with you, looks like Dominic Philpott is slowing down just a little bit. And Medeiros, again, looking very strong in this stroke, just seems to be really pushing along a little bit. And he has actually grown his lead substantially in this stroke. So the last two disciplines have been very good for Medeiros as he tries to grow that lead.
Yeah, and this is not – both of these guys have had at least one event so far today. So, that fatigue can really start to set in when you're on your second or your third event. But it's just a testament to Blake Medeiros and our team as a whole with just the conditioning and the everything that they've done in practice.
Medeiros looking strong right now as he goes into his final stroke here of the medley. He has got about a half a pool length lead, maybe even a little bit more, as he makes his way down to the end and will be making the flip and the turn. His final length of the pool right now, coming in strong. We will be catching him as he comes up to the finish right now. We will go down to a really nice angle here as Medeiros comes into his final stretch of the pool right now. He will be taking this event as he touches the wall in 2 minutes, 44.71 seconds. And Dominic Philpott, about half of the length of the pool to still go. He will be finishing up just right around the 3-minute mark. He's got about a quarter of the length of the pool to go right now. Just a tough swim for everyone. At this point, like you said, most people have swum multiple events. He touches the wall in 3 minutes and a little bit of change as Blake Medeiros takes the victory in the event.
And what a dominant performance out of Blake Medeiros. It was a little bit of a slow start on that first stroke, but he was able to just keep his pace. And when Dominic Philpott started to slow, Blake definitely took that lead, and then he was able to continue to grow with it. So a testament to him and a great performance.
All right, we're going to go ahead and go on to our next event, introduce you to our swimmers for the women's 100-meter butterfly. In lane number 2 is going to be from Emory and Henry College, Leah Davis. In lane number 3 from Ferrum is going to be Katie Schoaf. In lane number 4 from Emory and Henry College is going to be Emmy Humans. In lane number 5 from Ferrum is going to be Liza Montgomery. And in lane number 6 from Emory and Henry College is going to be Kate Prager. So we have a lot of Emory and Henry swimmers in this race, 3 different options for the Wasp. It's going to be another really good race to watch, pool full of athletes. And this is going to be one of those rhythmic races that I love watching. The butterflies is actually one of my favorite strokes that they have.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a skill-based stroke. It's not like the freestyle where you can just, kind of out-muscle your opponent. This is something where technique is so important.
So we have a little bit of a pause right now as one of the Ferrum swimmers is having a little bit of an issue with a cramp, so we're going to be a little bit delayed here as we get ready for the next event. But right now, just some strong swims from what we have seen from Emory and Henry College. Really exactly what I think Coach Skinner wanted to see on the first meet of the year.
Definitely. And, a lot of the when you start that first match and that first meet, those butterflies are there. Not, no pun intended, because we're about to do a butterfly.
I think there was a pun intended. I think there was a pun.
Well, I do enjoy them. But, they're just giving a great performance. They're doing everything that they're doing. They're doing their jobs. And they're putting together a meet for everyone to watch.
Well, the introductions are starting underway right now. And so we will be ready to start here with the 100-meter women's butterfly. 3 Emory and Henry swimmers, Leah Davis, Emmy Humans, and Kate Prager. And we are getting ready to take our mark. Swimmers are on their mark. And we are off in the race. Everybody kind of getting into their lane right now. This will be 4 lengths of the pool. And right now, looking like lane number 4 of Emmy Humans is in the lead as we make our first length of the pool trip.
Yeah, she got out to an early lead, and it looks like she's going to keep it if she keeps this pace. Great performance out of Emmy Humans.
And it's looking like Leah Davis and Katie Schoaf are battling for second place. Looks like Davis might be holding on to it as Humans leads for the Wasp as we head down and back one more time. Coach Skinner screaming on to his team, cheering them on as we make one more lap down. Yeomans with the lead still. And Yeomans is going to be making her way down to the end of the pool. She is going to hold on and cruise to this victory. Still a tough battle between Davis and Schoaf for second place, but it is going to be Yeomans taking the win here in the 100-meter butterfly as she touches the wall in 1:11.89. Second place, it looks like Davis is going to take that spot. Davis touches the wall. She finishes second. Schoaf finishes third. So Emory and Henry takes the top 2 positions.
And that just looked too easy for Emmy Yeomans. She was able to get out to an early lead and just dominate the rest of the field. And obviously a great performance out of Leah Davis, someone who was just in a battle for that second place spot with Katie Schoaf, but great out of her to continue and to take that lead and then end up with the second place finish.
Well, we'll get ready here to set the stage for the next race. It is going to be the 100 men's butterfly. 2 swimmers are going to be in this race, both of them Emory and Henry swimmers. And it's going to be in lane number 3 for Emory and Henry is going to be Logan Smith. And then in lane number 4 is going to be his teammate Neil Fredrickson as they touch hands and tell each other good luck as they get ready to start this race. So we will be having 2 Emory and Henry swimmers in the men's 100-meter butterfly race.
Yeah, and even though they're competing here, they're still friends. So you see that fist bump or whatever. It's everyone wants everyone to do good, but it's still a competition. You still want to win. So I'm sure we'll see some fire out of these 2 guys.
So it's going to be Logan Smith again in lane number 3, and it's going to be Neil Fredrickson in lane number 4 as they get ready to take their mark. They take their mark, and they are off. They are into the pool as we do the 100-meter butterfly for the men. And it's going to be Logan Smith in lane number 3 with a little bit of a lead. He touches the wall, 4 trips of the length of the pool for this one. Still underwater, coming up, butterfly stroke underway as he uses those powerful shoulders to push through the water. He's got about a length and a half of lead right now over his teammate Fredrickson as he prepares to touch the wall down on the other end. One more time down and back. Touches at 33.13. Fredrickson touches the wall at 36.88. But it is Logan Smith with a strong swim for Emory and Henry here in the 100 butterfly. So he prepares to touch the wall at the far end for one more time, making his way back for the final time as we prepare to finish here in the 100 butterfly. It is Logan Smith with another strong swim. His teammate Neil Fredrickson in lane 4 in second place. And they are coming at you right now, and it's going to be Logan Smith touching the wall in 1 minute, 10 seconds, 0.19. Fredrickson getting ready to touch the wall himself in around at 1:19.10. So 2 good swims from Emory and Henry there. Logan Smith 1:10, 1:19 on that swim. Neil Fredrickson 1:19.10 as Emory and Henry's 2 swimmers have completed the 100 men's butterfly.
And a great performance out of both swimmers there. Obviously Neil Fredrickson, the young freshman, but I think he put a great performance together with the vet Logan Smith, and someone he can learn from and really grow into a great swimmer by learning from Logan Smith.
Well, as they are kind of completing their cool down here in the pool, let's try to set the stage for you in the next race. It is going to be the women's 100-meter freestyle, and in lane number 1 is going to be Katie Schoaf out of Ferrum College. In lane number 2 is going to be Leah Mumpower. Mumpower will be swimming from Emory and Henry in lane 2. In lane 3 is going to be Lauren Hackett. She will be in lane number 3. And in lane number 4 from Emory and Henry is going to be Kat Swigert. She'll be swimming in lane number 4. Emily Fairman of Ferrum will be in lane number 5. So Leah Mumpower for Emory and Henry, and along with Kat Swigert in lane number 4, Ty. The ladies are taking their mark, getting prepared to hit the pool here. And they are off and they are into the pool, and here we go. The women's 100-meter freestyle, a quick swim. And it's looking like lanes 2 and 4 are battling for the top spot. So that's going to be Mumpower and Swigert, the 2 Emory and Henry swimmers.
Oh, it's convenient. It's the ones we're cheering for.
Still really tight right now to be able to tell. It looks like in lane number 4, Swigert might have a slight lead. She touches the wall. It's actually almost dead even as they got 2 more lengths of the pool to go. And it looks like it actually might be Mumpower with a slight lead as she made a really quick turn there. And I think it's going to come down to, as we get ready to hit the wall down here on the other end, who can have that strong push off the wall and who can actually kind of give themselves a chance to win this event. We are on our way in. This is the final length of the pool. They're going to be coming right at you here momentarily. It's going to be a tight race, and it looks like Swigert might have pulled ahead just a slight amount, and it's going to be Swigert touching first, then Mumpower. Swigert comes in 109.72 in second place, 110.69 for Mumpower. 2 really good swims right there. Finishing in third place is going to be the swimmer in lane number 5, Emily Fairman of Ferrum, and that was another good race, Ty.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the 2 Emory and Henry swimmers, Leah Mumpower and Kat Swigert, were going back and forth. At the halfway point when they had already completed a couple laps, it was neck and neck, and we couldn't even tell. We had to look up at the scoreboard to see who was winning. But at the end, Kat was able to kind of pull ahead just a smidge, and that was all that was needed to win the race.
Some really good swims that we're seeing early in this year. It's just good confidence just to get in the pool, hear all the different horns, see the pool full of swimmers, and see some good competition. So good swims right now by Emory and Henry. I think kind of exactly what Coach Skinner was kind of hoping to see and expecting. So it was a really strong swim.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he talked about just, wanting to put a good performance into the pool. But I'm sure it doesn't hurt that we're winning a lot of these events. I'm sure that makes them really happy too. So, at the very least, put together a good performance, but, a dub's good too.
We are trying to pick up the win, of course. Scoring points is what this is all about. And in this next race, we're actually going to only see a lone swimmer in the men's 100-meter freestyle. And it's just going to be one Emory and Henry swimmer, and it's going to be Ryan Spangler, the sophomore, 6'1", out of Daleville, Virginia. He will be swimming for Emory and Henry, the lone swimmer, and he gives a nice little wave to the crowd. There is no crowd, so he's just waving to air. Ryan will be swimming the 100-meter freestyle, and he is off, and we are on our way here in the 100-meter freestyle. Ryan Spangler, this is a situation where you're just trying to put up a good time. You're not paying attention to the clock. 4 lengths of the pool, touches on the first time, right around the 14-second mark, on his way back here for his second trip, the length of the pool.
Yeah, you got to wonder when you're swimming a race by yourself, is this one where you kind of, just put a good performance together, or because you don't have anyone else to watch, do you push yourself harder because you're not sure what you need to get?
I talked to Ryan a little bit about that when he's in the pool by himself, and Ryan was just sort of telling me that, you know what a good time is. You know what your expectations are. You know what your body can do in that very given day, and you're kind of racing what you know you're capable of doing. So I think that, any athlete, whether there's someone swimming next to you, you kind of control what you can control, and Ryan right now is only able to kind of control what he can do. He's the only swimmer in the pool, so he just has to continue to push himself, and as he heads to the wall, he is going to be touching in 1 minute, 1 second, 0.99. So just barely breaks 1:02. So a nice swim there from Ryan Spangler. Coach Skinner shows his improvement, and that's a good time for Ryan right there. So good swim by Ryan Spangler of Emory and Henry as we complete event number 14. Well, coming up next is going to be the women's backstroke. This race is going to feature 3 Ferrum swimmers and 2 Emory and Henry swimmers. So we'll be introducing them to you here in just a moment. Another big crowd right here. 3 Ferrum swimmers, 2 Emory and Henry swimmers. And so we're going to start out by introducing you to them. In lane number 1 is going to be Hannah Smith of Ferrum. For Emory and Henry in lane number 2 is going to be Leah Davis. In lane number 3 is going to be Cameron Burke. In lane number 4 for Emory and Henry is going to be Kinsey Welch. And in lane number 5 is going to be Hunter Tharp. So the swimmers jump into the pool as they prepare to get started here in the 100-meter backstroke. Davis in lane 2, Kinsey Welch in lane 4. They have taken their marks. They are getting set. And they are off. The race is begun, and we have started the 100-meter backstroke. It looks like the 2 Emory and Henry swimmers, Davis and Welch, are off to the early lead as we make our first trip down the pool. They turn, they tuck, they swim back the other direction, and it is really hard to tell right now who is leading between Davis and Welch. It looks like Davis might have a slight lead. There's also a tight race with the number 5 lane of Hunter Tharp. And right now it looks like in lane 4 it's going to be Kinsey Welch with the lead. And it is really tight between Davis and Tharp for second place. But it is Kinsey Welch in the lead right now for Emory and Henry as we have another length and a half of the pool to go. We will be showing you the finish here in just a moment. Still very tight for second and third. But right now Welch holding on to the lead. She makes the turn, and she is on her way in, and she will be still in the lead by about a body length or so. Tight race again for second and third. Here we come to the finish. Right now it is looking like it's going to be another victory. Kinsey Welch picks up the number 1 spot. Leah Davis and Emory Henry finishes third, and in second place is Hunter Tharp for Ferrum.
Yeah, and a great race out of all of the athletes in the pool. Such a close race between Leah Davis and Hunter Tharp. Within a second of each other, we're able to finish, and it was just a great performance all around.
I've been really impressed that we're seeing a lot of the folks that are coming out really fast. They're holding on to that lead. So we're not seeing a major drop-off once they kind of get into that lead spot. That shows a lot of confidence. It is hard to lead from the front because you have everyone chasing you. You oftentimes can't see where they are. When you make that turn, you might get a glimpse. But the Emory Henry swimmers are doing a really nice job of holding that lead, getting out to it early, and actually making it look fairly easy.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing with that is they're swimming their race. They're not worried necessarily about the competition that's behind them. They're keeping their pace. They're keeping the consistent pace that they know will give them a good race. So I think that's just showing maturity as an athlete, and I think that it's really paying off for them.
Well, let's get you set for the next race, which is going to be the 100-meter backstroke for the men, and it's going to feature two Emory and Henry swimmers. In lane number 3 is going to be Neil Fredrickson, the freshman from Ferrum, Virginia, will be swimming for Emory and Henry in lane number 3, and Blake Medeiros will be in lane number 4 for Emory and Henry. So we have freshmen and a junior teammates going against each other here in the 100-meter backstroke. So we're still completing the cool down here from the previous race, and we're just moments away from getting us underway here in the 100-meter backstroke for the men. This is event number 16, and again, Neil Fredrickson, Blake Medeiros, both representing Emory and Henry College, will be in this event. Both jump into the pool, and they will get ready to grab onto the bars, get into position to take their mark, and we'll see how the teammates do in this race.
Brent, I know this is supposed to be a serious race, but every time the swimmers jump in for the backstroke, they always kick their feet up, and I can't help but laugh.
Yeah, there has to be a reason they do it, but I'm not wise enough to know why. But we are underway. It looks like Blake Medeiros has pulled out to an early lead over his teammate Fredrickson, and Medeiros looking very strong as he is making his way down the pool here, 50 meters almost into this race already. He makes the turn, he makes the touch, and he is off and going. He has got almost a half a length of the pool lead right now over his teammate Fredrickson. So Blake Medeiros really swimming with a lot of confidence. We've seen a lot of growth in Blake over the last couple of years here, and he continues to make huge strides in his swimming here as he makes the touch. One more time, heading for home, and we will see the finish here from Blake Medeiros as he gets ready to come to the finish line.
Yeah, you see Medeiros is just transitioning into that leadership role, and it's really great to see that not only is his swimming capabilities improving, and there he is finishing with a time of 1:15.96, but he's getting into that leadership role as well, and here we have Fredrickson coming in at 1:26.38. So a great performance out of both swimmers, but obviously the win going to Medeiros.
Yeah, Blake Medeiros will pick up the victory for Emory and Henry College in this race. Another good outcome for Emory and Henry College as we prepare for our next race, which will be another dual head-to-head match here, but this one's actually going to feature a Ferrum racer and an Emory and Henry swimmer. So we are excited for event number 17, which is actually going to be the women's 400-meter freestyle. So we're getting into one of those mid to long-range events. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer race, and we'll see how this goes. But we have two swimmers in this one, and we will introduce those to you right now. For Ferrum in lane number 3, it's going to be Caroline Solwechter. And in lane number 4 for Emory and Henry is going to be Kate Prager. Out of Concord, North Carolina, the sophomore will be representing Emory and Henry College in the 400-meter freestyle. That's going to be 8 trips back and forth of the pool, so it's going to be one of those longer races. So we will just settle in here a little bit and see how this one goes.
Hope everyone wore their wrist calculator so we can count all of these trips.
That's what your job is, Ty. You make tallies to keep track of all the different ones you have.
Well, as long as the race is at least under 10, I can count on my fingers. I want to keep my shoes on. I can always use the toes, but I figured that we wouldn't want that going on here.
You're a professional. You do whatever you need to do to keep track of the race, but we are off and going right now. Prager with a slight lead right now over Solwester. Prager's first touch and the turn here in the 400-meter freestyle. Prager completes the first 50 in 42.55 for about a second and a half, almost 2-second lead. Prager comes, and you can see the nice touch there, and she is off and swimming back in the other direction after completing 75 meters of this 400-meter race.
Yeah, and you can definitely feel that the pace, obviously, for a race like this that is much more of an endurance thing than a sprint is different. But don't let that fool you that these girls aren't, giving it everything they have. This is more of a calculated race than it is just maybe the 50 where you just get after it for as quick as you can and pray that you win.
Prager finishes that first 100 in 45.05, 51.09 for the Ferrum swimmer. Quarter of the way through the race, just a little bit over that, and Prager still has the lead for Emory and Henry College here in the 400-meter freestyle. One of those new camera angles that we talked about, Ty. I really love this poolside sort of, following them as they swim back and forth. We have a mobile camera that really can go to different locations and show you different parts of the swim. One of the new enhanced parts of our live streaming capabilities, really being able to take you to parts of our competitions that we've never been able to go. Really excited about the possibility of this going forward.
Yeah, and that camera view is almost, I think it's even better than being here in person, because if you were, a fan here live, you'd be sitting in the bleachers and you might be able to get a good angle. But with that roaming camera, we're able to get you right into the action and get you, right with the athletes and give you a view that, not many people get to see.
Prager is extending her lead over Solwester of Ferrum. So Prager looking strong and looking to pick up another victory here as she completes another length of the pool. And once again, as you mentioned, Ty, it's just sort of a calculated race where she sort of just understands what she has to do to put up good times and to get the victory. So, really a calculated swim right now.
Definitely. And, that pace is so important, especially with these long races, because, and we've talked about this before when we were talking about the 800, but you can really blow out if you come out too hot. So being able to keep that consistency is key in a race like this.
So we are in the women's 400-meter and the women's freestyle. As they come down towards the pool, it is Kate Prager once again in the lead. Nice little lead right now as she makes it at 3:45 for that swim. Still swimming strong, still digging deep, still making sure she gets the right breath count, and doing all the things that the coaching staff is yelling to her on the sidelines.
Yeah, you got to wonder as an athlete, obviously you're swimming and your coaches are trying to coach you. What can they say? I mean, you're so far away, it's so loud, but they're able to still give you advice and help you along the way while you're swimming these events.
Yeah, I think the coaching staff tries to kind of sometimes when it's really close be able to give you a little bit of an update, and you can kind of hear maybe not the words, but a lot of times the tone of what they're saying kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. You're so kind of used to your coach's cadence that speaks a lot of volumes to you. So I think coach knows that they may not catch every word that's going on. That's why they try to keep it to short sentences. Really go hand signals when they look up and breathe. They kind of look in a certain direction. They can catch a glimpse of the coaching staff and know what's going on. They also get a little bit of an idea of what's going on as their teammates flash the different laps as they complete lap number 13 right now, 13th length of the pool. That means we are getting close to the end of this race, and actually Prager is getting and catching up to Caroline Solwester of Ferrum. So it shows you a little bit of how strong Prager has been in this race right now as she is heading towards the starting point of the race. She is going to touch the wall on the bell lap in 5 minutes, 18 seconds or so. A 46-13 lap there as she is on her one more time down and back. And Kate Prager is going to cruise to victory here in the women's 400-meter freestyle. She is almost down to the length of the pool. One more to go. Kat Swaggart, her teammate, gives her the cue, shows the red sign, and that means we are almost to the finish line. Prager will dig deep, kick hard, and really strengthen those strokes, pull as hard as she can as she heads towards the finish line.
Yeah, and a dominant performance out of Kate Prager here. She got out to an early lead and was able to just keep that pace and put a great performance together.
As you see her here touching the line, and she touches in 6:03:05. So Kate Prager picks up the victory for Emory and Henry College. So we still have one more down and back to go for Caroline Solwester of Ferrum. So Kate Prager will have a moment here to catch her breath. That is a long, enduring swim. You know, you've already done a few events at this point. It is definitely challenging to do these longer distances late in the event. It's tiring when you have these long swims.
Definitely, yeah. And it's just a testament to the preparation that these swimmers are putting in and day out, that they're able to, warm up, give everything they have for a meet or an event, then cool back down. And you kind of try not to get stiff, because you got to get back up and you have another event later. So great out of them for being able to do something like that. It just shows how much they prepare for a meet like this.
And we see Solwester touches the wall, and that will be the end of the race. And so again, Kate Prager takes the victory in the event, 6:03:05. Solwester 7:04.74. So another good outcome for Emory and Henry College. And as we prepare for the next event, once again, it's going to be the men's version of this race, the 400-meter freestyle. And we're going to feature two Emory and Henry swimmers in this race. It's going to be two good teammates here. In lane number 3, we are going to have Blake Medeiros. He'll be swimming in lane number 3. And in lane number 4 is going to be Logan Smith. So this is event number 18, the men's 400-meter freestyle, featuring two Emory and Henry swimmers, Blake Medeiros in lane 3, Logan Smith in lane 4. I know these guys are actually really good friends. They live near each other. So this is going to be one they'll talk about later in the dorms when they're back there after this is all done.
Definitely. Bragging rights are key.
And they are off and going. Again, just pacing yourself. And I think what is interesting here is actually you're seeing, I'm going to have to pay attention here because it looks like we might actually be seeing two different strokes, which is not something that you always see. So we're actually seeing in lane number 3, we're seeing Blake Medeiros doing the traditional freestyle. And in lane number 4, Logan Smith is actually doing the butterfly stroke, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just, it's crazy because Logan Smith is actually keeping pace to an extent. I mean, obviously the butterfly is normally a slower stroke, but you can see that he's not, it's not like it's a runaway race for Blake Medeiros. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and this is one of those things I think that Coach Skinner probably has talked to him a little bit about. There's probably a rationale behind why they're doing this. It's probably a good opportunity for Logan Smith to really get in some reps at this distance with that stroke, and it's also good for Medeiros. I mean, everybody has their different specialties, and Medeiros here doing the traditional stroke compared to right now. Actually, we've seen Logan Smith switch over to the backstroke, so he's sort of only kind of doing his own little bit of a medley here. And so this is just one of those things that, again, you can do this when you have a small meet. You can do this when you don't have other swimmers in other competitions. So it's an opportunity for Coach Skinner, for the swimmers to kind of see things at different races and to see maybe things that they can use later on in the year.
Definitely, and just this is obviously we don't have a Ferrum swimmer in this race, so you're able to just kind of get those little tidbits, and it's more of I guess not a practice race because obviously everyone wants to win, but getting in those reps and getting better for events to come.
Coach Skinner over there on the sideline, kind of still coaching his team up right now, as we are right now in the middle of the men's 400-meter freestyle. Blake Medeiros, Logan Smith, two Emory and Henry swimmers in the pool right now. It is Blake Medeiros with the lead. Logan Smith doing the backstroke is in second place in lane number 4. As they touch the wall, 2:35-ish or so for Medeiros as he makes that turn. And we are heading back down to the other end of the pool as we are getting ready to complete length number 9 right now. So a little bit over halfway at this point for Medeiros. Is getting a little bit of encouragement from his good friend Braxton Justice down there on the other end of the pool, just slightly off of camera. And we're kind of seeing, honestly, it is sort of a medley of strokes here by Logan Smith, which is probably something that's really beneficial for him. I mean, when you're this tired and you're getting to try all these different strokes, it's one of those things that's only going to make you stronger. And so getting some opportunities to do some different strokes is never a bad thing. But Medeiros is going to cruise to victory in this race as he continues to just put his head down and stretch out and keep pulling through the water as he is completing length number 11. Logan Smith is in second place. He is about, I would say, 15 or so meters behind.
And him doing a breaststroke here right now is, just a great way to get better for meets to come.
Want to remind you folks, as we're waiting for this race to get close to completion, that the Old Dominion Athletics Conference announcement recently that we would not have fans does not mean you still can't be in the King Center in some form or fashion. There is an opportunity right now for you to buy a fan cutout. There is a campaign that's going on that will allow fans the ability to continue to support the Wasps without physically being there. The cutout's pricing is one for $50 and $45 for each additional one. All the proceeds go directly to the iHay Fund, which benefits all Emory and Henry student athletes. You can visit GoWasp.com for more information on how to make a payment and upload your image. The deadline for ordering is Monday, January the 25th. Well, we are in the bell lap. Blake Medeiros cruising to victory here as he is getting close to touching on the other end of the pool. And we will be heading for home here in just a moment. Good swim from Blake Medeiros here. Realizing he's got that last little bit to go as he kind of just kicks really hard here, and we will try to show you the finish here from up close and personal. And here comes Medeiros as he gets ready to touch, and he touches in 5:17 on the dot to finish the men's 400-meter freestyle. And he looks exhausted, and I'm exhausted just watching it.
Definitely, yeah. I've said it once and I'll say it again. I'm so glad we're on the table and not in the pool.
And Logan Smith is going to finish in touches at 5:38.24. So a 5:17 for Blake Medeiros, 5:38.24 for Logan Smith, both swimmers from Emory and Henry College. A deep, deep breath, catching their breath, and preparing for the cool down here as we complete that men's 400-meter freestyle. Well, Ty, we're getting ready to move back to some of the shorter events as we get ready for a crowded event here for the women's 100-meter breaststroke. And we might be near another one of the breaks. I think I heard there might be 2 breaks during this event, so this actually could end up being a break. So when we come back from the break here in a moment, we will have the end of the competition with the starting we have a few more events to go. But we're going to take a break here for just a moment. We'll be back in just a few minutes for the completion of the dual meet in swimming between Emory and Henry and the Ferrum Panthers. Well, we are back as we are getting ready for now that 100-meter breaststroke event that we were just talking about. And this is going to be another event featuring a full pool length of people. We will actually be using every lane we hear, so there'll be 6 racers in this event. And for the Wasps, we're going to have 3 different swimmers. Starting in lane number 1, though, is going to be Hannah Smith of Ferrum. In lane number 2 for Emory and Henry is going to be Leah Mumpower. In lane number 3 from Ferrum is Alina Baltons. In lane number 4 is going to be Kat Swigert. In lane number 5 is going to be the Emily Fairman. And rounding out in lane number 6 from Emory and Henry is going to be Paige Woodworth. So 3 Emory and Henry swimmers, 3 swimmers from each team. And we'll be starting this in here in just a few moments. And we are in event number 19. There are 22 different events here, so just 4 more races to go. This will actually be the last individual women's race of the evening, and then it'll be a relay to finish for them. But the swimmers here of Mumpower, Swigert, and Woodworth for Emory and Henry College when we get ready to begin here in just a moment. And the referee blows the whistle, and we are starting the introductions here. So event 19, the women's 100-meter breaststroke, should be another good competition. The breaststroke has traditionally been a stronghold for Emory and Henry, so I expect to see some more Wasps out front here, but we are just moments away, and they are taking their marks. And they are off and into the pool for the 100-meter breaststroke. And it's going to be Kat Swigert out to an early lead for Emory and Henry College in lane number 4. It's going to be 4 lengths of the pool. It will be Swigert touching first, and she is heading back towards the start-finish line. It will be Swigert in first place. Second place is tough to tell right now. It's going to be a toss-up between lanes number 2 and lane number 5. That's going to be Mumpower and Emily Fairman of Ferrum. It will be almost a dead heat for that second and third spot, but it is Kat Swigert out to a very healthy lead right now, probably almost 2 lengths for Kat Swigert, as she has got almost 1 more length of the pool to go, just over 1 length as she's nearing the edge of the pool, and will be touching for home here in a second.
And it seems like every time that Kat has one of those transitions at the edge of the pool, her lead just grows and grows and grows, and it's just a testament of that technique on those transitions are just doing great. And it's showing with her winning right now.
Swigert heading for home right now. She is going to cruise to victory. It's going to be tight between Ferrum and Emory and Henry in second place. It's going to be really close. Strong push here by Mumpower at the end. And we are going to have in second place, though, it is going to be lane number 5. Emily Fairman just edges Mumpower for second place. Really, really close there. 129.67 to 129.91. That tells you how tight of a race that was. So Emory and Henry Kat Swigert does pick up the win in the event. Ferrum scores the second spot. Emory and Henry's Mumpower in third place.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. I mean, you talk about how a lot of sports come down to inches and seconds, but our swimming match today has been coming down to hundredths of a second. So really great job by all the swimmers here as we have our final swimmer coming in, Hannah Smith for Ferrum, and she finishes up. Great performance from the Wasps on that match.
What I really liked about that is, as both of us are really new to swimming, and as we were looking to see who was going to finish in that second position, both of us did that move where you kind of stand up a little bit, like it's going to really help push our swimmer to the finish line. But a really good race, and that's what's so fun about swimming is that, man, it can be really, really tight when it comes down to that finish line. And like you said, just literally, less than a second oftentimes is what these races come down to. But again, nice swim by Kat Swigert, a 123.98, wins that race by about 6 seconds. So a good swim there by Kat Swigert. as we get ready for the men's final individual race here. It's going to be the men's 100-meter breaststroke. This time we're going to have two Emory and Henry swimmers. First up for us is going to be sophomore Ryan Spangler. He'll be in lane number 2. In lane number 3 is going to be Dominic Philpott of Ferrum. And in lane number 4 is going to be Braxton Justice of Emory and Henry College. Final individual race for the men. It is the 100-meter breaststroke. The swimmers are taking their marks, and they are off and into the pool. And here we go, 4 lengths of the pool in the 100-meter breaststroke for the men. Really close right now. It seems to be all the men right now seem to be very equal. It's really hard to tell from our perspective as they are at the far end of the pool. We'll get a little bit of an update here as they get ready. But it's looking like lane number 4, Braxton Justice, might have the lead just by a little bit. But it's really close. Spangler is really right there just on his heels. But Justice strengthening it out by about a couple of feet. Good swim there by Spangler to kind of tighten it up, though. Justice still has a little bit of a lead. But I think Spangler closed the gap by just a bit right there. It is going to be in lane number 2. It is going to be Ryan Spangler that is challenging Braxton Justice. It is really, really close, and I think I might go ahead and stand up because I have a feeling that this one's going to be very close between the Emory and Henry teammates of Justice and Spangler as they come to the finish line here, pushing hard. Spangler and Justice really, really close. Too tough to tell right now from our perspective. I think it might be Justice. Justice with a slight lead. Spangler finished strong here last time. Here we come to the finish line and the touch, and it is going to be Braxton Justice, 120.98, 121.33 for Spangler. Philpott of Ferrum finishes third, 126.25.
What a race by both Emory and Henry swimmers, Braxton Justice and Ryan Spangler. That was just neck and neck the whole way. We couldn't even see really who won. We had to look up at the board to see those times. Obviously, they're timed by officials, and that was a great race for us to see, and a great way to end the individual events here at Emory and Henry College.
In fact, I have to apologize to the audience. We had a closer angle of that finish, but I got so excited I stood up and forgot to push the button.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're sitting here cheering on and trying to give everything we can to our swimmers as well. It's just you get so into it.
Yeah, I promise, folks, if you'll stick with us, all these different sports are new to us in streaming. We're trying to figure out some of the best angles, trying to figure out how to do this a little bit, and we're learning how to do this. So thank you for your patience with us. But we're just happy to bring you some swimming, and I promise you these sports will get better. Make sure you join us tomorrow, 3 o'clock, women's basketball. We'll have some really great action there. Joy Scruggs will be on the call. And so we're really looking forward to that. But let's go into our final race for the women. The women's 200-meter freestyle relay. Ferrum is going to have 2 teams versus Emory and Henry. The Ferrum team number 1 is going to be Katie Schoaf, Liza Montgomery, Emily Fairman, Hunter Tharp. For Emory and Henry, it's going to be Paige Woodworth, Kinsey Welsh, Kate Prager. And for Ferrum, it's going to be Caroline Saulwester. And then it's going to be Lauren Hackett, Hannah Smith, and Alina Baltons.
Yeah, it looks like Kat Swigert will be taking up that anchor position. We don't have it written on our paper, but she's right there ready to go. So it must have been a last-second addition. But it's looking to be the Ferrum team in lane 3 right now, up ahead with the Emory and Henry team right behind.
So the Emory and Henry team, first leg being completed by Paige Woodworth. Now into the pool is Kinsey Welch for Emory and Henry College. She's got a little bit of a distance to make up on the Ferrum team as we are into the freestyle stroke here, digging deep. Woodworth making up a little bit Welch making up a little bit of that distance here and really closing in on Ferrum here. We're going to have a pretty close race as we get ready to complete this leg of the swim.
Yeah, and it looks like Kinsey Welch might have actually taken the lead here. She has made a huge, gotten back this race in a great way.
Prager into the pool for Emory and Henry College as we continue on this third leg of the freestyle relay. Prager looking strong, having the lead right now. Really close. The Ferrum swimmers are keeping it tight. We make the turn. It's going to be Prager by just a tad. But this one is going to come down to the fourth and final leg. So it is going to be Kat Swigert takes a deep breath as she knows her time in the pool is coming up. And right now she's going to be almost head-to-head against Ferrum. It's going to be too close to call. Ferrum's going to have a slightly. Both swimmers are into the pool. Swigert for Emory and Henry College. In lane number 3 for Ferrum College, it's going to be Alina Baltins. It's going to be a race. Swigert quick out of the block. She is going down all the way to the other end of the pool. Has the lead. Makes the turn. Coming back home. Looking strong. And Kat Swigert looks so confident right now with a lead of about a length almost. Kat Swigert, an impressive final length for Emory and Henry College. And Emory and Henry is going to pick up the victory in the relay. Kat Swigert, what an impressive swim there at the end. A 209.51 for Emory and Henry College. And that is an impressive swim for the Wasps as they get the victory by just over 2 seconds over Ferrum.
And what a performance out of that team. I mean, obviously, we got a little bit behind to start the match, the event in that first leg. But, Kinsey Welsh getting the lead back, Kate Prager kind of holding on, and Kat Swigert just opening that lead to a dominant performance for the Wasps. And it looks like the final swimmers for the second Ferrum team are finishing up, and everyone is starting their cool down. Great way to end the women's event.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you right now that Kat Swigert, I talked to her during kind of this off season as they were getting ready, and she will tell you she did not have the sophomore year that she wanted to have. So she had a lot to prove here in her junior year after a really great start to her Emory and Henry career. And I can tell you right now, if this first meet is any kind of indication of what kind of season she's going to have, impressive start by Kat Swigert. Really strong finish. Happy to see that for her as she celebrates with her teammates at the end of the pool. A great meet for the women. Strong finish right there, and that was an exciting race. And, proud to be a Wasp on that one.
Definitely.
All right, Ty, well, we're going to catch our breath as we have one more race, and this is going to be an uncontested race in the men's 200-meter freestyle relay. It's going to be an Emory and Henry team that's made up of Neil Fredrickson. It'll then be Braxton Justice. It'll be Logan Smith, and Ryan Spengler will finish it off for the Wasp.
Yeah, and with that, such an exciting race before this, I need a break.
Yeah, I feel like this could almost be a celebration swim right here, but of course, the guys want to finish strong. And I need Braxton to swim strong because he walked by me just a second ago and tapped me on the shoulder and got me all wet. So I need him to do something good in the pool just to make up for what he did to me. And we are off, and in the pool right now is Neil Fredrickson, the freshman, is on the opening leg of this men's 200-meter freestyle relay. Seems like the entire women's team is down there cheering him on as he makes the kick back and starts his second 25 stretch. Next up is going to be Braxton Justice for Emory and Henry. He is on the block waiting for Fredrickson to touch. He is just mere seconds away from hitting the water, and Justice is off and into the water. Braxton Justice on the second leg of this 200-meter freestyle relay. He touches the wall and is on his way back. Braxton Justice getting ready to finish the second leg of this. Next up is going to be Logan Smith. Smith into the pool. Smith looking strong right now as he makes his way down to the other end. And he's going to make the touch. Women's team's cheering him on as he makes his way back. We have one more leg to go. That's going to be held by Ryan Spengler. He's waiting as we are almost ready to finish this swim meet off. This is going to be the final swimmer into the pool. Ryan Spengler is off. He's into the water, and he is off on the way. Ryan Spengler swimming the anchor leg here of the men's 200-meter freestyle relay.
And all of these guys have been in multiple events today, so a great testament to their character. They could lay up here because they don't have anyone else that they're competing against, but putting together a great performance, giving great effort, and a great way to finish off this match.
Ryan Spengler on his way to the house here, finishing off this meet, and he touches 204.86 is the final time for Emory and Henry in the 200-meter freestyle relay. 204.86 for the Wasps. and I'll give you the team scores overall. The final results on the men's side, it's Emory and Henry 104, Ferrum 7. On the women's side, it's Emory and Henry 109 and Ferrum 69. So Emory and Henry picks up wins on both the men's and women's side. So congratulations to the Wasps picking up a victory to start the 2021 season.
Yeah, great performances by both teams to start off the season hot, and everyone gave the great effort, and it was just a great performance had by both teams.
Yeah, so a good start to the season. Congratulations to both teams. I'll tell you what, I can tell you that I'm sure that both teams are just excited to have competitions. And so, Emory and Henry excited to get back in the pool. And this is a sprint of a season. It's not the full length. Normally, we are about halfway, 3/4 of the way through our season. So, right now we're actually at a point where we're starting to hit some strides, and we'll be heading towards ODAX before we know it. So the Wasps, good start to the season, though, but they know that they've got a short time to kind of keep these speeds going.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is with a season like this, you don't really have a chance to have a stumble or a hiccup, especially with us trying to, looking at those ODAC champions. So great performance had by the Wasps today, and a great way to, start the season.
Well, thanks to all the staff for helping make this broadcast possible. A lot of learning things going on with our new streaming equipment. I'm telling you right now, we've been really working hard for our basketball broadcast tomorrow at 3 o'clock, the home opener for the Emory and Henry women's basketball team. You're not going to want to miss that. That'll be at 3 o'clock. Joy Scruggs, former Emory and Henry coach, will be on the call. We're going to have angles all galore. We'll be able to cover the event like you've never seen it before. It's going to be a fascinating broadcast and a really good game. Emory and Henry women's basketball team taking on Ferrum tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Make sure you're there. Until then, this is Brent Treese with Ty Spires, and we'll see you next time on the Emory and Henry Sports Network.